Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. Okay, this is going to be another quick video, just how to. So many people, I've mentioned this before, write me and don't have the money to, um, they think they don't have the money to start mixed media. Because mixed media, obviously, you can use anything. The sky's the limit with it. It's whatever you process in your head, whether you use acrylic paints and watercolor paints and stamps and ink pads and markers and you're just mixing all the medias that you would use. Um, I love adding texture to my background. I love stamps. I love stencils, and that's a whole other thing. So I'm going to show you some things that you have around the house, or maybe you take from somebody in your family. Maybe you go to your mother's, sisters, brothers, whatever, and you see in their garbage that they're throwing away something that you like look at differently than what they do. And you're like, oh, what a great mark that would make. What a good stencil that would make. That kind of thing. I have several videos on this way back, but I wanted to make another one for all my new people who I love, hello, who are all new to mixed media. And, you know, they tell me that it's scary to them and they don't have the money to go out and they feel that they can't do it, and I want to show you that I am cheap and easy. I always say that. I've said that for years, because this is how you start. This is how you start, and recycling is so wonderful, and repurposing is so wonderful, and that's what I'm going to show you a few things today, and stuff that you can get at the dollar store. But really, I want to show you how to look at things differently. So let's go. Okay, obviously I have my piece of paper here and it's going to go in and out. Okay, so first, and I'm sorry, it's going to go in and out till I get stuff on here. This is called, I got this at the dollar store, and I'm going to put this in, I have quite a bit of it. I bought a couple rolls, but I'm going to start taking off pieces of certain things that I have and throwing them in giveaways and putting them in giveaways and all that other kind of thing. Because I think everybody can use fun. Okay, so here is a liner that goes into your kitchen cabinets or bathroom cabinets, whatever. So what I like to do is cut. We're just gonna cut a square. So that is, I mean, literally, you can buy it and share it with your friends. I mean, that's where we're at. Or you can have a little bit left over. Maybe some of you didn't line your uh, kitchen cabinets or whatever, and you have some left over, and if you're like me, I don't throw anything away. So you have it, and you're like, what am I going to do with it? Let me show you, can I? Okay. So two things. Now, if you don't have ink pads, it's not a big deal. Use your paint. I will use my paint right now. I have to use blue. Well, lid won't come off of blue, so let's use pink. Okay. So I'm going to open this up a little bit, and I'm just going to take from the cap. Most of the time when I paint with acrylic paints, especially ones that have a thicker opening, wider opening, I like painting from the cap. It's controlled. I know a lot of times when I squirt out, squirt out, squirt out my paint on my mat or in a palette, a lot of it gets wasted. So unless I'm doing a big canvas or something to that effect, I really try to limit how much I squeeze out. That's a great tip because you don't need, you can always put the lid back on if you used all this and give it another shake and then pull it off, and you're very, you're very good that way. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to let me grab my paintbrush. Oh, not that one. All right then. Okay, prepared as always, aren't I? I'm just taking a brush. This is a, what kind of brush? Low and Cornell wash brush, 2114. I have no idea what that means, but anyway, you say. It was probably in a package of paintbrushes that I bought, or somebody, random act of kindness to me, because a lot of people send me brushes and stuff. Okay. And that's one of the reasons I love giving back, doing random acts of kindness and giveaways, because I just love people. So what I'm going to do is take my brush. You see, I don't have all that much on, and lightly, with a light touch, I'm just going to run this like this, right on it. All right. Okay, here we go. Now, a little bit got through there. Not going to worry, but I'm going to lay it on that side that I put that little bit of paint, and I'm going to press it. Now, you can make it as thick or as little as you want, but look what you get. Let me bring that up to you. Okay, Let me put my paintbrush over here. I gotta take my snubby off. It's freezing here. We got snow and it's cold. I got so much to do today, but guess what? I'm doing this because this is what I want to do. All right. Look. How fun. So that is a great texture making tool. Okay. Now, you can use it with a, goodness, a ink pad. If I organize myself. Let me make sure it's in the, okay. So I'm just taking it, I'm going to rub it like this, right? And you can, I do this because it's easier for my hands, but you definitely can, you know, do that kind of thing. I just don't like to do that. I'm going to lay that down. If you have a brayer, use that. If you have a another thing of paint, do that. Look, you don't have a brayer? All right. Okay. And then, all right. So then you get, I have all my stuff around me. It's even more of a mess than usual. I don't care. But look. So that's with your ink pad. That's with acrylic paint. Both fantastic, depending on what you have. And you feel like using. So that's number one. And the fun thing is, you see, let's see if you can see the colors on there. Nah, not as good as I want you to. Like you can see that's still the normal blue color and the paints are in there. Once that dries, cut it up, die cut it, do whatever, and make yourself, you could put that on your scrapbooking, mixed media, art journal, whatever, and you have a great textural piece, right? Very fun. Okay, now this is called Decorative Accents, and I think this is for, I think I got this at either the dollar store or AC Moore on sale or clearance or something, but it's where the making the flower stuff is. I don't exactly know what the name is, so if anybody knows the name, let me know. But what it is look how fun. Look how textured that is. And it's doubled. So, good goodness. All right, let me just cut a piece off. It's not being very friendly. All right, so I'm going to cut that off. And it's doubled in the package. So you see that. Now let me see if I can really get you up there. Look at that texture. Come on now. All right, so let's do like we did before. Let's do our ink pad, right? So I'm just gonna, now I would pad it. You saw I scraped it. Don't do that because it will mar up your ink pads. And if you don't care if you're using an old ink pad, then by all means do that. It's whatever you want. Now look, it shedded a little bit over there, but I'm not worried. Okay, so I'm gonna put that down, use my fake brayer, which you don't even have to use. I just am being silly. And lift it up. Now, I didn't have much paint on there, but that's okay. Look. It's going to be, oh my goodness, I'm coughing. See that great texture? It's fantastic. Now, let's do it with some paint. All right. I'm going to dip a little paint. I'm just going to take it over. Now, I'm sure the paint will probably be a bit darker. I didn't put as much ink. I mean, I could have put a little bit more ink on there, but hey. And I'm just rubbing my pink paint. All right. Okie dokie. All right. So pink paint. Push it down. And I'm pushing. And I'm lifting up. And look at that. Oh, now, I'll lift it up in a second. But look, let that paint dry. And look at this great textural piece you have. So that is a lot of fun. Let me see if I can roll it. And you want to put pressure, especially things that are as textured as some of these things are, because now I'm scraping this like you see how I'm doing them, and look at that came up. So you have this for, I use this for doll making, I use it for all kinds of stuff. But let me just lift it up. But look at these great textures. So when you go to the dollar store, okay, I mean we're just starting out here, but when you go to the dollar store, look, grab things that you see that you most normally wouldn't. Why would you pick a, you know, a shelf liner, or, you know what I mean? You look at it, what am I going to want it for? Especially in clearance, you'll be amazed at the stuff. Now, Q-tip. You can get 500 of these from the dollar store. They also come in pointy ones. Let's watch how fun. Just dip it in your paint lid. Like that. And then, look. Here we are making circles, circles. all over. And you can see the more you do it, obviously the paint comes off, but it leaves, you know, certain marks. But all right, now let's do it with the ink pad. It doesn't matter what ink pad. This ink pad's not permanent. Who cares? So I'm going to dip it in there. I'm getting my groove on there. And then, and because it's not as absorbent, because it's, you know, not paint, doesn't have water or whatever in it, or sizing or whatever they call it. But look how fun. How fun. Q-tip, hello. Okay. I'm just saying, this is very exciting to me. Very exciting. Okay. Next, let me grab a spray here. Excuse me if you can see anything inappropriate. I won't delete that out. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so well, let's stick with marking for now. So you see we have a old tape thing. This had Scotch tape on it, and I saved it. You can see I love it. I use it all the time. I've even used it for molds for amazing mold putty and resin, because it's like a really wicked tough. So you take your ink pad or whatever you're, and you just dab it around. And remember, Distress ink comes out not as opaque as, look, we got the circle, you know, if you used a regular ink pad. But most people have ink pads that are not permanent. Now, if you have StazOn, Memento, those kind of things, they work great. It's permanent when you put it down. So that is with that. Now let's do it with some paint. And I just put paint on my brush and run it around. Okay. And you get the same effect. Look how fun. Now, what goes along with this is lids to, this was a air freshener thing that you plug in the wall. I can't think of the name. Air wick or whatever. Same thing. You get the great, you can use paint or, and you get smaller circles. And if you paint it, okay, you will get circles. So let me lift that up for you. Now look how this is coming together as a mixed media background. Very simple. Not that bad. Now this is from my needle I take, but I saw it and I was like, it got two sides. I can make small holes, you know, circles or big ones. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's how you look at things a little differently. Like, how can I use that? I have die cuts and out of construction paper. However, you don't, you know, you can buy these kind of things in plastic. Let me see if I can find if I put it here or not. Maybe we'll come across it. Maybe we'll come across it underneath here. Anyway, you can buy like plastic acrylic or whatever they're called, plastic stickies that you stick on scrapbook and that kind of thing, and you can use those as well. I thought I pulled it out. I guess I didn't. But anyway, this is just a doily that I bought. It's like a plastic covered, like I said, I bought it at K and Company or whatever it's called, and this is die cut. So of course you can do different things. You can put your paint on there, your ink pad, but what I like to do, and if you make your own sprays or buy your own sprays, I'm going to do a video on making the sprays because I got a lot of requests for that. But this is what you do. And you make it, it's like a mask. So you give it a second when you're using the spray. You just kind of do your thing, you know, kind of do like this. Move around, pretend like you're exercising. So when you're done, you're like, whoo, did 5 minutes, right? Okay. And then take it, and you see. And then I can just take this here. Look, if you don't walk away from painting and doing mixed media with hands like this, I don't want to hear from you. No, I'm kidding. I walk around with paint. And then I turn it over just to get whatever's left on it as far as the spray. You don't have to. Look how nice that came out. But I like to because it makes me feel like I'm getting banged from a buck. And who doesn't like to get banged for their buck? All right. Okay, so you can see it just comes up. And you get the rest of that off. And you can do it on another page too if you don't want to, you know, take it off of this one. But look at that background already. I know. Wait, we are so not done. All right, I have so much to show you guys, and I hate making long videos, and people get, you know, All right. So here we are for that. So what I'm going to do is take this out because I will use this for a background. It's on, because it's Bristol paper, which I love Bristol paper. Let me double check before I say that. Yep, Bristol. I love Bristol paper. Love it. It's so thick and delicious, and it's great to make backgrounds, and it's exciting. Okay, so next. All right, the ever popular bubble wrap. Just make sure you have, I know this sounds silly and you're probably like, oh, okay, Cal, you have to tell us that. Make sure the bubble part is up. And is that for me making mistakes before? Probably. I'm not perfect, nor do I claim to be. All right. So you see I'm just painting on my paintbrush. Now this is a very flexible brush, as you can see, and that's kind of, you know, a cheaper brush isn't going to hurt you. A sponge brush will not hurt you. All right, so this is the paint. And look, I'm just pushing down. You can brayer it, but you don't want them to pop. And then you have, now I didn't have much paint on there, but you can definitely see the bubbles. Now, let me do my ink pad. Oh, Q-tips are going flying everywhere. And I'm just going to rub it on lightly. Now, depending if you want a grungy look or you want a regular, you know, you want it to be more pronounced, that's up to you. It is your painting, my loves. And then look at that, how nice. And I'm going to lift that up. Oh, this is bubble wrap. And the great thing is, I have to hide the bubble wrap from my husband. I have a lot of bubble wrap, the real big ones, because I hoard bubble wrap. When I get something in the mail or whatever, I take all the bubble wrap, I hide it. I know he walks past and grabs a handful and throw it away because he doesn't see the sense in it. However, I hide it now. No, he's always like, really? Do you want this saved? All right, but look at the, you know, so this one's the distress ink. This is the paint. I could have made it darker if I would have put more paint on it, dip my brush back in, but there's no need. But it can be done. That's all I'm saying. All right. Toothbrush. I think this is Aqua Fresh toothbrush lid. I mean, these are, I really use these. I don't want people to think like, what is she doing? I use these all the time. I'm a bit crazy. Look, you can save so much money and have your own individual style. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with buying stuff from the store, but sometimes you can't, or sometimes you're looking for a certain thing. So I'm just putting that on there. And you see that's just the lid to the toothpaste. Now, my toothpaste I'm using now has a smaller lid. I thought I might have pulled it out because I had another one here. But guess what? You can use it all. It's all fantastic. Okay? All right. Now, I know this looks silly. Are you guys still with me? Should I do a part 2? I'm just going to do the whole video. All right. Do like I do when I watch long videos. If I look at the time, oh, 18 minutes, I stop there, and then I remember where I was at. I don't really remember. I write it down, but then I'll go back and finish. I just hate to do it in 2 videos, and then people miss it, and then... Okay. This is a medium, obviously not mine, thing for the store. You know what I mean? When you buy probably slippers or something like that. I don't know. So I'm just going to lay it down and give it a quick spray. Nothing fancy. Give it a blow. What doesn't like to be blown? And then move this. And look, I smeared it with my fingers. But you see, I'm clumsy. All right. And then you turn it over. Push it down. Push it down. Push it down. And lift it up. And then you can do a couple more prints if you want. Or just wipe it off. Whatever your little heart wants. And look. Now, I did smear that with my fat finger, but hey, you know. But look, that's just a little hanger. How cool is that? I think it's pretty cool. All right. This I cut out of a piece of foam core. It's a square. Can you spare a square? All right. And I'm just going to put that in my paint. A little much paint, but that's all right. And tap it on. Dip back in there. And you see you have these little squares. Fancy, fancy, schmancy. Okay. So we're there. What else do I have? So much stuff sitting here. This is fantastic corrugated cardboard. You can see I love the heck out of that. And again, paint. I like to do this first. Wait. All right. We're going to do our ink pad. Just pat it on there. It depends on how much you want and how much energy you have to pat it. And then just put it down and push it. Push it real good. Dun, 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 dun. And look, my whole desk is shaking because I was doing the dancing and the pushing. See? Look how cool it is. Now, you know what's really fun? There's a lot of things I think are fun, but you do this, and if you're doing it in your art journal, or even if you're doing on a painting or whatever you're doing, you have these great lines. You could journal on there. You could write a little message on there. I don't know, but I think it's fun. Now let me just get a little bit on here. I'm just getting a little bit of my paint. I don't go like this as much as I go up and down. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. It just seems to work better for me. Maybe because I'm a little bit of a stew-nod sometimes. My hand, who knows? But whatever way it works for you, do it. And then this is the paint. And I'm going to push it down. And lift it up. And look at that. Look at these marks where garbage. People throw this away. No, don't throw it away. Dave, don't throw it away. Okay. Now, let me just show you a few things here. This is string. It could be yarn. It could be whatever you want. Throw it down, right? Take your spray. Now, I'm going to show you all how to make your own sprays and all because I know, you know. But just give it a quick spray. Leave it sit for a minute. I always feel like, you know, I just leave it. Look. But I'm going to leave it sit there for a minute. I always feel just to leave it for a second. It might be my OCD. I don't know. Now, I didn't gesso this paper. And if you wanted to gesso it, you sure can gesso it. Do you know what I mean? That's up to you. I think it's, you know, we're doing mixed media. We're doing layer, 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 you know. So, but look at that. And then you can always take this and just kind of mush it down and see if anything comes off. But, and let me show you that. Look how cool. String. Could be shoelace, yarn, whatever you got. Right? Okay. So, now. All right. This might be dry. Let's put this bad boy back on here for a minute. This is the other one. And I have rubber bands. I have, which I'm not going to go all through and show you because it's pretty much the same as the string. But you could take a couple rubber bands, throw them down, spray it. You get texture. This is a knitting thing. Oh, it's stuck on my finger. A knitting thing you could put down. You could put it in your ink pad, dip it, whatever. Very easy, very fun. I got this in a baby doll thing. It's a little baby doll brush. And I just dip it in. And it gives you these teeny little, I'll bring that up so you can see it. So if you have kids and they have little dolls, or the dollar store, because that's where I got that. See? And you got those little things. All right, something else very quickly. This is my produce bag that my kale came in. I love kale. All right, and I'm just going to mush it up. And again, you can take your brush with your paint and very lightly just go over. And then sponge. And look at all that neat texture you're getting as the bag curls. All right, and you can do that with the ink pad as well. I'm going to show you that. It's just great texture. I mean, look how great the page looks, and we're just using stuff from home. All right. Now, I got this in a package I ordered. You know, all the foam things that had 20 different sizes in it. So you can use this as well. You can cut it in half, you know, do whatever, put paint on it, put your ink pad on it, whatever you want. So let me just put some on here. And this is going to make it probably more grungy looking because of the texture of the foam, but I don't care. I'm just rubbing it on everywhere, getting whatever it gets. And let's stamp it. Do I have any? I'll stamp it down here. And I push it. And it just gives you a little bit, you know, no big deal. Now, you could spray your water. I'm not going to do it now, but you could spray your water bottle on this a little bit, and it'll loosen it up again, make it a little bit thinner so you would get a better print. But really, you know, I don't want to spend all day doing that for you guys or with me. It's so long already. Here's another lid that I use. from a body spray or something, deodorant, I don't even know. But it makes the circles as well, goes with paint and with your pads. This is from my soldering stuff. Apparently I like making circles. They're all different sizes, so, you know. And then you have lace that you can use. You have this that you can use. You can spray through. You could put the brush on it with the paint and paint it and turn it over and do that. Okay, I'm going to try to get through this a little quicker. The few last things. This is from the die cut machine with a thick piece of foam core, and you can use that as your stamp. I've made tons of those and sent them out to people. I love making stamps from the die cut machine. This came in a package. These are little cardboard things. Blades are sharp, and you can use that to draw. You can use this to draw a circle for your face, or put paint on it and print it down, spray over it, you know, with our sprays or whatever. And those make great things. I'm going to have to do another video on the other thing I want to do. And then this is, I took, what did I take? Cardstock and wrapped it in, I don't think you need my piece of hair in there. Gross. Cardstock, and I covered it with foil tape. I love foil tape. And then I cut it out with circles with my circle cutter. And so that goes, and that could be used for a lot of fun. Again, just a little spray. Just give it a real quick. Leave it sit there for a second. Lift it up, and you have those circles. And then I'll put it here to get the rest of it off. Now, because the foil is not sucking all that in, you're going to have a better print. You see down here? Because it's sitting on the top of the foil because it's metal and it won't sink in. So that's fun and easy to do. Very easy to do. And it really, if you don't have the foil tape, don't use it. Just use cardstock, cut with your punch or whatever, and go to town. And then like all the circles and everything. I got a cap from a water bottle. All right. And then I'll do all that later. I'll do another video. And then you have your fork that you can use where you could just kind of run through your wet paint. Let's do a little bit of paint. All right. Let me just wet my brush there. I'm going to make it a little bit waterier. And then run your fork through it. I should have put more paint on it, but you see what I'm saying. And it gives you great texture. When I lift this up, you'll be able to see it. I don't know, you probably can't see it from there. But it's pulling it down. It gets you a really cool looking texture. Just keep going the same way. Okay. Now, look how cool that looks. All right, if we focus, it would look really cool. What the heck? There we go. So you let that dry. That's a really cool little part on there as well. So the other two things, I always try to give a piece of one of these away. This is a embroidery, plastic canvas thing, embroidery thing, and that too. And you can see this is well loved. And I just put it down here. And you can use either the paint or the spray. I'll give it a little spritzer. Leave that sit for a second because that's what I do. And, all right, I'll show you that later. I'll do another video. It'll be easier. Okay, see how that gets out good? And then you just turn it over if you want and kind of pop it down wherever to get the extra off. Okay. I mean, look how cool. I think it looks awesome. And I think that's all I'm going to do right now. Of course, you can get your makeup sponges. This isn't a makeup sponge, but this is a paint sponge. But makeup sponges, same thing. You use it, you dip it in. Like if we're going to do here, or you could do it in paint even. I'm just going to dabble do ya. And there ain't nothing coming up on that. Can I get some wet paint there? Let's see. Yeah, it's not picking up right now. It's not picking up what I'm putting down. Come on, baby. Only where I push it. Yeah, that's a little better. Take some, I'm trying to be hurrying up, so it's taking me a minute longer, but look, you can see. See how it did the blue blocks? Very cool. So, right now, those are some basic backgrounds using all these things from home. And like I said, I can go on for hours, really. I have so many things. I just pulled out a few things to show you guys. But like I said, here's a great background starter. Here's a great, and they look completely different. You see what I'm saying? So that's very exciting. I'm glad. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys use some of the ideas in this video. As time goes on, I'll use a few, I'll do a few more things that I use at home to do this. Oh. But for now, that is where we're going to end. And I'm going to try to get my other video up as well. Yesterday it took literally probably 12 hours to upload a video. I was not a happy camper. I don't know why it did that, but it did. Alright, so as always, be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, if you liked watching things from home. Like I said, I have more I'm going to do. And, you know, these are very cheap and inexpensive ways to make great texture without having to have a die cut machine, without having to have, you know, all the specialty things. So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in my next video. So I love you guys so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.